disclaimer, we'd like to note before the start of this interview that the opinions about to be expressed by the guest on tonight's Gettin Salty Experience podcast are that of the guest and do not directly or necessarily reflect the views of the host of the Gettin Salty Experience podcast.
Put the fucking fire out!
You're listening to the Gettin Salty Experience podcast.
Hello! You goddamn right, ex-producer Pete. You're listening to... What are you doing? A lot of thumbs up there. I don't know what's going on. You're listening to the Gettin Salty Experience. Now the middle fingers. Gettin Salty Experience podcast. The only one that brings the kitchen table and four idiots right to you guys with putting their hands up there. Gonzo's up in my kitchen right now. He's not back in Florida. Roofy's in some kind of easy chair with pain in the shoulders. Man, might be doing some of this.
That's the throne. He's in the throne over there.
He
The royal throne.
He might not make it. He's in a lot of pain, but he's toughing it out. He's crawling down that hallway. And Mike's doing the producing tonight. And here we are, bro.
Yeah. Gons, where are you? In the little cubby?
He's in my kitchen.
Yeah, I'm in a little nook.
Cubby.
Well, tell him what I left you up there.
He's muted.
I have some of this. I got a full bottle behind me that's holding up my phone.
Scoops knows how to do it, bro. Come on. I take care of
the hospitality is off the charts.
I threw like a whole, because you can't get pizza down in Florida, bro. I bought a whole pie. I think he ate half the pie, but I bought a whole pie, some garlic knots. I did it right by Gons, you know?
How's that shit?
You buy this thing right here. You won't leave until you buy one of these, bro. You know what I'm saying?
You're getting faster now. It's not even. You're not even waiting.
I was
$24.95. Free shipping available.
Whoa, the free shipping. No free shipping, bro. I was on the Mike in New Haven the other day, bro. Had a great time.
Yes.
How could you not?
You know who called me and said it was a great show? Hank Malite.
Mike from New Haven.
Mike called me, said, great show. I said, I know.
Volume 87, the best of bravest interviews with the FDNY's elite.
Whoa.
Listen to this guy.
What's his name's in the chat, Mike? The guy from Rochester. What's his name?
Joe Maliga. Thanks, Joe. I got to find how to hang this up. I got to find
Joe, I'd like to find a place to hang that up, too. Maybe if somebody sent me one. I'm just saying, you know?
This is a five-person team. Just throwing it out there.
Gons, too.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I was only kidding.
Yeah.
I can't.
So what happened, Ruff? You had the computer gave you all sorts of fits tonight.
Yeah, now I can't hear. I don't even want to say it. I can't hear Mike either.
Now you can't hear Mike?
No.
Say something, Mike.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
Wow. I think you should just take some meds and go to bed, bro. Call it a night. And he's close. He's like, somebody give me a Percocet. Somebody give me the Percocet. I'm going right to bed.
Yes.
That's it. My boy's got a pinched nerve. What do you got? L6, L4. What is it?
Yeah, it's like
that's not comfortable.
6 and 7 down my arm into my hand. It's a freaking mess.
Why'd you say 6, 7? 6,
oh
7.
My God! 8, 9, 8, 9, 8, 9, 8, 9.
We got a couple of new people, new members in there, right, Mike?
Yes, we do. We'll shout them out now.
New member.
Yeah.
And I can't read the other guy again.
Karan Kangle, 5907, and Paul Fischetti.
How could you go wrong, dude? $4.95 and you get the membership. We just put the rescues. What year, Mike? 93 to 90.
1990. Part 1 is
Part
1990 to 1993. Part 2 is 1993 to 1997.
All right, and then tomorrow, also coming up on the membership is the best of the Chief Steve songs coming up for you guys on the membership. Then tomorrow, I don't know if Roofy's going to make it. He's all banged up, but me and Gons are going down to the Rock to the Dennis Leary Foundation, and we're gonna hobnob with the Dennis Leary. We're gonna try to wrestle Steve Buscemi on the show, all that good stuff. And we fired up the GoPro, so Gonzo's going to be the cameraman, and we'll get some good footage, and that will go on the membership as well. But let's get our commercials quick, bro, because we got to get Mike in here.
We sure do. First things first, a word from Vince from Overtough. When it comes to firehouses, the floors take a beating. Boots, waters, tools, apparatus traffic, it just never stops. That's why departments like the Gloucester City, New Jersey Fire Department and so many others trust Armor Tough flooring and tile. From the hallways to the training rooms to the apparatus bays, Armor Tough delivers a clean, professional finish built to handle the daily grind of the job. Durable, seamless, and designed specifically for high-demand public safety environments, this isn't just flooring, it's infrastructure you can count on. And it doesn't stop at the floor. Take a look at the Grove's Gear Racks, built with integrated security features to protect turnout gear, personal equipment, and department assets. Secure storage, smart design, and built to last, because your gear deserves the same protection you provide to your community. If your department is ready to upgrade its space from the bay floor to the gear room, reach out to Armor Tough Flooring and Tile, built for the fire service, built to last.
Nice. Oh, I don't know. We'll lose out. All right.
We'll put him in the back while he figures that out. And we have a new one tonight.
We have a new sponsor for you guys. Identifier.
Very new.
Matt from Identifier. He's got some good stuff, man. Really. I watched him when we first started going to Indy. He was a small company, and now he's like, boom. He's big. Check out his stuff, man. Mike, do it.
And here it is. When you're on scene, seconds matter. Visibility matters. And your gear, it better perform. No excuses. At Identifier, we get it because this isn't just business, it's the job. We provide high-quality helmet identifiers, accountability tags, and custom safety solutions built for the Fireground, not the showroom. Our products are designed to take heat, hold up under pressure, and make sure your crew is seen, identified, and accounted for fast. Whether it's a working fire at 2 a.m. or a routine call, clear identification can make the difference between chaos and control. Gear up with professionals who understand the job. Be seen, on scene, at identifiersafety.com. Use code SALTY to save 10% on your next order.
Nice. So anyway, we were at Indy this past week. As you know, I wasn't on the show. But my man Procaccini's with me too. He did a fantastic job, bro. He really did. We met a lot of people. We made a lot of connections. We got a lot of guests. Rob did a bang-up job at both selling and drinking. He's a top one ace drinker. So
keeping up with you.
Yeah, at one point he told me to shut the fuck up while he was drunk, but it's all right. It's all good. You can't hear us now?
He's got to do a setting. I bet your phone, your computer has to do your settings to your headphones.
You got to
go to bed. Ruff, go to bed. Good night, Ruffy. Anyhow, all right, Mike, play because we will be in Harrisburg next. We're going to Harrisburg. Play the quick Harrisburg because we got to get Mike in here before he falls asleep back there.
Right. The 54th Annual Fire Expo, hosted by the Lancaster County Firemen's Association, will be taking place from May 15th to May 16th of 2026. And this expo will showcase more than 250 emergency service exhibits featuring the world's leading manufacturers of fire, emergency medical services, rescue, and public safety equipment. Fire Expo not only has displays, exhibits, and live demonstrations, but also provides training from Firehouse Grants, a division of bay door companies, PA State Office of the Fire Commissioner, Stat Medevac, and a helicopter will be landing on Saturday, weather permitting. Full training descriptions and details are available on our website, www.lcfa.com/fireexpo. The dates, once again, May 15th to May 16th of 2026, with May 15th going from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and the 16th going from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The location, the Pennsylvania Farm Show Complex and Expo Center, located at 2300 North Cameron Street, Harrisburg, PA, 17110. Facility is cashless. Parking and food items must be paid with card. Sales at show exhibitors may vary on the payment method. And tickets are $12 pre-purchase online until May 14th, 2026 at 5 p.m. Don't miss it.
There you go. Come out and see us. We'll be down there, the Salty Guys. We may or may not be drinking in the booth in the afternoon. Come by for a little pop. You know what I'm saying?
Gon's your co-hosting, by the way, it looks like.
Well, maybe buy the book. Maybe you can buy the book, too, while you're there. I'll have that.
If he comes back.
Very last thing we're going to do, and we're going to get into having we had the guy on a couple of weeks ago from the boxing club, and they have an event coming up. I'm actually going to this. I'm going to bring my boys and my brother with me. It's the Thriller in Camilla. It's the 10th annual. They've done it for 10 years. They fight other fire departments around the country. They fight the cops. And it is what day, Mike?
This is going to be
Friday, June 26th.
June 26th, 2026.
At St. Camilla at
185 Beach Street, 99th Street, Rockaway Beach, Rockaway Beach, New York.
Come see us, bro. I'll be there in attendance. Beautiful. All right, now it's time to bring him in. Let me get on my sound effects. Stand by.
You want me to bring him in, or you doing it?
I'm gonna do the sound effects. Mike, you can bring him in because that's how you
Okay.
roll. You're good like that. Hold on a second. All right, go.
Okay, 15 years in the New York City Fire Department is basically the equivalent of 30 years anywhere else. He was there during the war years, came on in 1970, retired in 1985. He's here to tell us all about tonight on this episode 290 of the Gettin Salty Experience podcast. Coming to the stage, retired FDNY Lieutenant Mike Williams.
Woo!
Hello, brothers.
And I heard he
Welcome.
makes a hell of a gravy.
Hello, brother.
Somebody told me.
What was that, Kevin?
A little birdie told me he makes a hell of a gravy as well.
I try my best. For an Irishman, I do.
I was gonna say, what does an Irishman know about making gravy? Usually, just boiling the shit out of meat and throwing some potatoes in there. What do you know about gravy?
That's a little bit different one. That's a different day too.
There you go. Before we get too far before we set the Wayback Machine, 1970, bro. Let's get patriotic with our brothers and sisters who are over there fighting for our freedom. Do it, Mike.
Yes, sir.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen, brother. Best
Amen.
country in the history of the world, right, Mike?
And God bless to all those on the job and those that we don't have anymore.
Sweet. What are you drinking there, Mike? What do you got? I thought you were drinking vino.
Little bit of orange juice, but I think some amaretto found it.
Ah, nice. Cheers, Mike. So
The bad part about it was there wasn't any tax stamp on the bottle.
Allegedly.
All right,
I don't mean the orange juice.
I hear what you're saying, brother. So it's safe to say that you were a war years firefighter, right, Mike?
Yes, sir.
But before we get to that time, let's go back to the Mike Williams when you were young. Where did you grow up? Tell us a little about your family history and how you got to the fire department.
Okay, September the 1st, 1944, I was born. But I was very small and nearly killed my mother. And I was Labor Day, and she said, that's the last Labor Day I'm going to ever have. And I was born in Brooklyn. My dad was in the Navy. And as an aside, he was on, you boys weren't old enough to know, during World War II, we had Liberty ships, 8,400 Liberty ships. Quite a few of them were built in Wilmington, North Carolina, and that's where I'm at right now. Well, about 10 miles south of Wilmington. And he actually he went into the Navy, but wanted to go on to the Merchant Marines as a gunner. And he was a first-class gunner. And he came up out of the mess decks one day and having a cigarette. He was a forward gunner with the 50 millimeters. And, Caliber. Been corrected. And he's having a smoke, and he happened to look way off in the distance. Now he's on the outside of a convoy. And my dad came from Columbus County, North Carolina. Mm-hmm. So he was brought up with guns and hunting and fishing. And he happened to see a little tiny spot way off in the distance. He kept watching it. It got bigger and bigger and bigger. He swung the gun around, started going 400 yards before the Jap hit his ship. He dumped it in the ocean. And he saved the Virginia Dare. There, out of the 8,400 Liberty ships that were shipping all that ammunition and a little bit of food over to Russia, there was 8 Liberty ships considered the gallant ladies.
Right.
And the Virginia Dare was one of them, and he saved that.
And he shot that Jap right out of, you're allowed to say that right now.
Oh,
He
yeah,
shot the Jap right out of the sky, right, bro?
He has, I've got pictures of him receiving commendations from the Navy. And he was supposed to get a medal from Russia. But of course, things have changed, as we know.
Right.
But he got on, he got off that ship and went to regular Navy and had that ship blown out from underneath him.
Holy
So,
mackerel.
The amazing part of it was he was sent to Brooklyn, New York, to the USO, which was an armory in Bay Ridge, and all of the sailors and soldiers and so on, we go there waiting for next assignments, and needless to say, he met this cute little Irish girl, and they both went out to California. He was given his own PT boat in the Admiralty Islands. And when the war ended, he came back to New York. And lo and behold, they must have done something out in California, because I came out September the 1st. And we moved down here. I was born in the U.S. Navy Hospital on Kent Avenue in Brooklyn.
Uh-huh.
And the amazing thing about this, shorten this story up a little bit, when I joined the Navy, I joined the Navy twice, because the first week I joined it, I was still 16. My mother had to go down the next week and had me sworn in again because I had just turned 17. I spent 6 years in the Navy, and the amazing thing about it was I was assigned to the Brooklyn USO Armory in Bay Ridge, where my dad was.
That's pretty cool.
And where Mom and Dad met. Then when he got out, we came down to North Carolina, and the tree didn't fall apart, the apple didn't fall apart from the tree, but he developed a severe taste for one of you boys.
So, I'll drink to that, bro. Yeah.
And she took about 13 years of it and said that was it. Back up to Brooklyn. So I went. Erasmus Hall High School. Well, first I went to Xaverian, but I couldn't do that Latin. Couldn't do the algebra either. Went to Erasmus, which I believe is one of the guys that you just had on the show. I saw that he was in Erasmus Hall, or maybe it was my Facebook, one or the other. Anyway, when I finished and graduated, I went my full duty on the Navy, and overseas twice. And
what ship were you on, Mike? When you went
USS Ingraham, DD 694 destroyer.
Wow. What year was that?
1962 to 1964.
My dad was on the SS Bennington in the late 50s, aircraft carrier. Great to be in it. Great to travel all over the world, but a whole lot better to be back in America. Yeah.
I had to get back in America because in August of 64, I married this beautiful redhead. Good looking redhead. The only thing that was bad about her is she kept saying, let's have another kid.
How many did you have?
4.
4. Wow.
Yeah. And all I did was say, yes, dear.
Well, you're a smart man. That's a happy wife, happy life, brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But anyway,
takes a lot of practice to get 4.
Yeah. I studied to be an electrician and was an electrician striker when I went on board ship. Bad news was the day I went on there, the engineering officer was the officer of the deck, and I went on, request permission, come ashore, aboard. Yes, you're an electrician striker. Yes, sir, I'm ready to go. He said, that's tough. He says, I need somebody in the boiler room, and you're it. So I wound up being a BT3 when I got out. 6 years in the Navy.
6 years in the Navy.
Yep.
So you come out, what happens when you come out? How do you get to the fire department when you come out?
Well, I went to Con Ed. And
Oh man, look, they're similar. I worked for Con Ed too for 12 years.
no kidding.
Yep.
I won Hudson Avenue.
I was in Queens in College Point.
I was on Hudson Avenue down there, and the funny part about it was when I took the test first for the subterranean noise. You guys know what that is,
I
right?
have no idea what that is.
Subway cops.
Subterranean oinks. Okay, I got
New
you.
York City Transit Police.
Don't be upset at Mike. It's okay.
Passed that test and was waiting, and the fire department test come up. So I took that, and the fellow that was standing on the line in front of me was a fellow by the name of Ray Alt. And anyway, we went in, we took the test. I passed the test. I was going to go on the subterraneans, but I rode high enough on the test to get on. So they called me. But I had a problem. The night before I went down for the physical, I had to sleep on the floor in my house.
Why?
And then when I got down to the test, there was a guy running around the test area with a 2x6 and a hammer. And back in that day,
You were short.
well, I'm getting to it.
Okay.
Back in that day, it was 5'7" to get on the job,
Right.
not 5 foot like now. But I still wasn't sure whether I had made it because the night before I measured myself at 5'6.5". That's why I slept on the floor. I get downtown. There's guys being brought in on planks. There's guys running around with the 2x6s and everything. And I said, look, I don't know how tall I am. He said, bend over. Took the 2x6, whack. And I got on the job at 5'7". It was
That's
a
great.
very bad bump on the head, but I got on the job.
What year is this, Mike?
That was July. I think that was 69, early 69. And I waited until July 13th, 1970. And joined the best.
Well, wait a minute. Let me ask you a question. What did you have any family in the fire department? What made you take the test?
Did not know. No, I wasn't interested in the fire department. I mean, I was doing good at Con Ed.
Right.
Boy, did my wife get mad at me.
Oh, yeah, you got a paid cut, right?
Well, she was pregnant, and Con Ed paid the full freight on pregnancy.
Yep.
Right? Any doctors, hospitals, the whole 9 yards. I take a job where I take a cut for $6,000 a year, and I'm not home on days and nights and this and that and everything else.
You in the doghouse, bro.
PO'd at me. Yep. So you're a little PO'd at me, but it was a great chance.
Yeah.
There's my girl over there.
Look at the camera.
Oh, something you got to get used to. Sorry about that, boys.
Yeah, I went from making $80,000 a year in Con Ed to making $23,000 in the fire department. That was a hefty cut too, man.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a cut, I'll tell you.
But you know what? I would do it every single time, every day of the week, man.
No question of it. I was in charge of the tank farm, 11 million gallons of fuel oil every 2 or 3 days.
Right.
And then I wound up going up into the fan room up on the 6th floor, sitting above the damn boilers. It was bad enough I was in a boiler room on a 10 can. It was 110 degrees every day. And to go to that. But
well, you're used to it. They
figured pretty hot.
You were used to it.
What's that?
You were used to it. They figured you were used
I was.
to it. Yeah.
I really was. But it was a good move for me. I loved it.
Yep. So you get on in 70, you go into the academy. Hold on a minute. You go in in July. Now, was it at the Rock or was it at Ward's Island?
It was Roosevelt Island.
Oh, Roosevelt Island. Yep. How many weeks was it? Do you remember?
Well, I went from July 13th to September, 3 months, I think it was, or 2.5 months, something like that.
Right.
Yeah. I got some pictures. The whole time I was in probationary fireman school. I want to be a truckie. I'm
You
standing
knew it.
around by a bunch of 6-foot guys and say, "You ain't going to be no truckie."
You just barely made 5'7", bro. You ain't going
That's
no
right,
truck.
exactly
That's
right.
with a 2x4.
Yeah,
You know what it was? I think it was the hair. Maybe the hair puffed it up a little
well,
bit.
back there, I had a lot more. Well, I'm
You
still
got a
doing
lot
pretty
more. You still got a lot, you son of a bitch. You look at me.
Yeah, that's what a lot of the guys say. I had one of the guys in the retiree group come over the other day and grab me, but I said, "Yeah, what did you do that for?" He said, "Damn, it's real." I said,
that
"Hell
a rug?
yeah, it's real."
Mike, you got
Oh,
any
it
pictures of
is.
him in Proby school? What do you got there?
Let me see if we have those. Stand by.
It's the Rock Fire Academy one I sent you.
Oh yes, yeah. I loved it. That was the scaling ladder.
Right.
I did I was picked to do the scaling ladder and the roof rescue myself. And then we did a 2-man with the roof rope. I lowered myself off and all. And I think you got another picture with Robert E. Lee, who was in Proby school with me.
That's
Southern
so
boy.
funny. I had a Robert Lee in my Proby class too.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We've got a couple more. We'll get to that in a minute, you and I. But I was really delighted. But
No, not that one.
You asked me no, not that one. You asked me a question about getting on the job. It wasn't until I moved back to North Carolina after I got off the job that I started. My dad and I started doing my genealogy. My dad was still down here, and we got back thanks to my wife. My dad wanted to go fishing and hunting and everything else, and I said, "Hey, Dad, I just got in the house. I got to put a window in. I got to do blah 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 blah." And he was trying to get me and see me once a week or whatever I could do, and I was just working on that house, trying to make it livable and all. I hung up the phone. My wife said, "Pick up that phone and tell your father you'll pick him up in the morning and you're going to go spend the day." And we got to live the last 2 years of his life together doing that once a week.
Oh, I love her.
Fishing, hunting.
I love
That
her.
started in the genealogy. I've gone back 5 generations on my dad's side. And my mother was living with us. She came down from New York. And I went home one night and I said, "Hey, Mom, we're having a lot of fun. We're going here and there. And I'm finding so much about the family." I said, "Do you know much about our family on your side?" She said, "Not a whole lot. I know a little bit." I said, "Well, what was your grandmother and grandfather's name?" She said, "Grandma and Grandpa." I said, and that's it? And she said, "Uh-huh." And that was it. Gooley was a fine Irish name, but nobody knew it. My granddad's name was Cherry. His brother was Francis Cherry. He was in, I think it was 283 out in Queens.
No, 283 is in Brooklyn.
It may have been Brooklyn.
House.
Yeah,
But
that's where Bobby Sano's from.
From Proby school to retirement. And I never knew it until I started doing the genealogy.
Really?
Never knew it. Never knew he was on the job. My grandfather never mentioned a name about it or whatever.
Huh. So you did have family in the fire department then. You didn't even know about it.
Didn't even know about it.
It was in the blood, Mike. It was in the blood.
Yep. It had to be.
Dudes. Oops.
Anybody willing to take a knot on the head to get a new job. But anyway, I was delighted I got on the job. It was a great move for me. I loved it. Now, this is for you, Kevin.
All right, do it. Come on.
July 13th, 1970. Go to Proby school, almost 3 months. Dying to go to a truck company. Orders come out. Engine 210.
Woo! 210, baby. Merlin Carlton.
The first show that I watched with Denny Salty, you and Lou were at Rescue 2's quarters.
Yes.
And I happened to just turn it on as you were talking about it. and you said, "Here we are in front of 165 Carlton." I said, "What?" I said, "I know where that is." So before we get into a few of these things, I got to ask you a question. Now, you went in 94, right?
Yeah.
Was Trainwreck still living across the street up the block?
Trainwreck?
Yeah.
No. Who was that?
It was a black woman that lived up the block with her husband and her boyfriend.
Right. Husband and a boyfriend?
Yeah. And right across the street was the Jewish brothers warehouse.
Yes.
It was still there, right?
Yep.
That was used by rescue to do roof rescues. They would go on 210s on 165 Carltons, shoot the rope across to the warehouse.
What, with the Lyle gun?
Yep. And pull themselves across and pull one back and all that. But Trainwreck lived 4 doors up from the warehouse.
In the brownstone?
Yep. And those brownstone on the 3rd floor. And the brothers, the brother or the husband and Trainwreck would all get drunk. They'd be drunk day and night. And we'd be there at the house watching them, bam, bam, bam. Go over and look through the window on the door. Here's Trainwreck. What do you want? They throw me out of the window. I gotta go hospital. You want us to rescue to take you? Yeah. Show us your tits. She pull her blouse up. Show her tits. All kinds of nice things. Okay, we'll get it. We called down somebody from rescue. They'd come on down, take her down to the corner to what was the hospital right down the block on the left side?
Cumberland.
Yes, Cumberland Hospital. They'd take her down there. Rescue was her private ambulance service. And
that might be the best story I ever heard on this show, bro. That is fantastic. Good.
Show us your tits. There you are. And the funny thing was, if you were as short as I was, you had to stand and look like that to see them because they hung down so damn low.
They were swinging.
Quitters. So you're saying they were quitters?
What's that?
You're saying they were quitters?
Yeah, they were quitters.
They were knee knockers.
You know,
that too.
They turned that building, that warehouse, into condominiums.
You gotta be kidding.
I swear to God. You know who used to live there, Mike? Faith Hill. So I used to see, we used to see Biggie all the time come in and on a regular. We used to see Biggie all the time. It was cool.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Well, all those brownstones on the next block overlooking the park, were getting converted while I was still in 210. And they started selling for big dollars.
They were beautiful, man. They
were
really
beautiful
were.
brownstones. They were fantastic.
Yeah, by Fort Greene Park.
Yep.
Hey, Mike, there was another company. I don't know if they were there when you were there or they disbanded them before that. There was another company close to the park over there that was disbanded. Were they there when you were there or they were disbanded before that?
They were disbanded before that. We were the only ones. 209 was further down on Myrtle Avenue.
Yeah, I know. They were on Myrtle and Bedford.
Right.
Right. But there was another company, a single engine, that was up by the park that I never knew about.
Oh, yes. That was 208.
Yes.
208. Yes. They were still there when I was there.
Were they? Yeah.
Yes. That was further
I never
down.
knew that. There was another company, and they were close to 210.
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
Quite close. They were down closer to the river.
Yes.
And the funny part about that is when I found out I was going to be going to the fire department, I was telling all the guys in Con Ed, I'm going to be so glad to get the hell out of here. I'm going to be going, probably get to go to Queens or I'll go somewhere nice and I'll be out of here. Where did I go?
Fort Greene.
Fort Greene. I could have walked down to the Con Ed plant that I was in. But that was a great company, a great bunch of guys.
Mm-hmm.
Was the Paco fish still hanging on the wall? in the kitchen, in the back
No.
room?
No.
Yeah.
The taco fish. Show us your tits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry.
they-
Flashback.
that's all right. How clean was the basement when you were there?
No, it wasn't clean at all.
Well, when I got there, we still had a coal burner. And we had chickens down in the basement. The chickens were white, but they didn't have any beaks because the only thing they would eat would be pieces of broken up coal. And they'd be banging their heads on the concrete floor, eating a piece of the coal, wore their noses off.
What? Why? This is crazy. Why would you have chickens in the basement?
Why would Rescue and 210 do anything?
Okay.
So I guess if you didn't have the chickens, you didn't have the alligator.
No alligator either.
Well, we had an alligator. We had a 10-gallon fish tank on the top, and we had a 20-gallon fish tank down here with water in it. And we had an alligator, I'm going to say it was probably 18, 20 inches long.
Right.
And we would live trap mice in the basement. And we had a piece of plywood on the floor of the 10-footer, and we'd put the mouse in the upper one. And after a little while, the alligator would come up and put his nose up on the thing, and he'd sit there and he'd watch the mouse going around. Well, if the mouse wouldn't be stupid enough to go to the alligator, we started to drop in little pieces of food. Get it closer and closer and closer.
Brothers.
And after a little while, boom.
Bam. Done.
That alligator loved mice.
Yeah.
That's
No
all
doubt.
he was getting to eat. But right across from that was a
Delicacy.
750-gallon tank. Double 3/4-inch plywood back to two sides. And we had a 3/4-inch Lexan glass for the front that they got from Macy's when they were doing their doors. And at first they had freshwater fish. And then somebody came up with, geez, wouldn't it be nice to have saltwater fish?
It would.
And we converted, that's where the Paco came from. We converted to salt water. We had to get rid of everything in there that was fresh water. Walter Stacoviak was a lieutenant in 210. He was my first lieutenant. He was my first boss. He was my dad. I called his wife Mom. We became the best of friends. And the day that I got assigned, he left 210 and he went to the last engine company out in Queens, out there near the cemetery. And I got assigned one night out there. Danny Murphy was his chauffeur in 210. And Walter had him with him. And I go out there as a lieutenant covering. And when I walk in, I see my name. My name wasn't up there, but everybody that was riding that night was up. And Danny Murphy was the chauffeur. So I went over to the house watch and I said, hey, is that Danny Murphy from Brooklyn? He said, yeah, that's him. I said, tell him, holler up to him and tell him that the covering lieutenant wants him to come down, check the oil, clean the windows, make sure everything is working right. And he'd like for you to do it pretty soon because he's got to take a mark in the book. Well, Danny Murphy came down them stairs screaming, who the fuck is that son of a bitch? He's like, where is that bastard at? And he saw me and he said, you son of a bitch. You made lieutenant? And I said, yes, sir. I did.
You got to get back to
Okay, I'll get back to it. They want me to go back to the Paco. I'm sorry.
the Paco story.
I'll finish the Paco, then go to Queens.
Well, Queens is later. We gotta go to Bronx too. Go ahead.
Walter Stacoviak lived in Oh, shit. Right where the New York Giants or Jets did their the college out there.
Hofstra?
Yeah, Hostel. Thank you, sir. And he would come in when he come on his tour. He'd bring in 2 5-gallon buckets of salt water from the bay, and that's what we do. We keep rotating. Everybody would chip in and buy a bunch of goldfish, the cheapo ones, and we'd bring in earthworms from our gardens, and we throw them in with this Paco. When he started out, he was probably a foot long. When the last time I went up for a reunion with 5'8", and I went over to 210, he was hanging on the wall, and he was 17 pounds.
Wow.
And, because we would drop all the earthworms in the goldfish, and he'd let the goldfish go because they was fast. Yeah, they go like hell. But he'd go around and start sucking in the earthworms all around, and you ride around when he got these earthworms hanging out. He looked more like a catfish than he did a Paco. And that was a fish that they have down in South America. It's supposed to be pretty dangerous.
Like a piranha or something?
Yeah, it was in the same family.
Really?
But I know when I went in there to visit, they said that Paco was 17 pounds when he died, naturally died. But the other thing that they had the chickens with no beaks. They had the alligator. They had the Paco, and they had a parrot that didn't have a feather on him. He picked every feather off of him, scratched them off his head, everything. They asked a vet one time. He said it was nerves.
He was
nervous. A nervous condition.
He was in the fire department.
He was in the firehouse.
Damn sirens going off and on.
Was Nino there? Did he get there after you?
Nino Taduni.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He was still there when you went?
Yep.
Holy shit.
He was a good cook, right?
No, listen, you talk about an Irishman making gravy?
Yeah.
When I went into there, everybody's name ended in O.
Yeah.
No O'Brien.
No
O'Sal. No. This was all, it was the Italian Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Nino Taduni, Albano. I got a picture I was going to bring out to show you from Engine 210, October 1969. I wasn't on it, of course, because I wasn't there.
Yeah.
But all of the brothers that were in there.
You got any pictures of 210, Mike, that he sent?
See if we do.
Yeah. Oh, you do? You got one?
Mike, did you work across the floor and rescue 2 at all? They didn't let guys.
Well, that's part of the story. I did really love the job. I loved the firefighting. I was the first 3rd grade fireman that was ever allowed to make a mutual with Cappy Lawler in Rescue 2.
Really?
The first one. They saw what I did.
Who was the captain of Rescue 2 when you were there?
Captain Lawler.
Captain Lawler.
Yep. But Mike Bradley was the lieutenant.
Mm-hmm.
My rabbi.
Yep.
Not Siderio. I can't remember him. Great big Polak. He walked around the firehouse all day long with a coffee cup.
From Rescue 2?
Well, yep. What was in there was not dark brown.
No.
In fact, it looked like it had a foam around the edge of it. But what do I know? I was a pro.
What do you know? What do you know?
I was a pro. You know what am I gonna say?
Didn't smell like coffee either.
And the other lieutenant was Dickie Hamilton.
So how often did you work in Rescue 2? Was it a one-time thing, or you worked there?
I did one other tour. Cappy was, you couldn't get into rescue without going for a mutual, going in with a resume.
Right.
And, getting so far. I did the one tour as a 3rd grade fireman. And the next one I did was a mutual, and I had made 2nd. But they were a great bunch of guys. The other lieutenant that was working there was Dickie Hamilton. The first firefighter. I told you I was going to tell you this, brother. The first function I went to as a fireman was the Steuben Day dance. Now, of course, my boss is Lieutenant Walter Stacoviak. So I got to go with him, right? And here, the Proby sitting in the middle wheel, and it was almost all Rescue 2. There was not from 210. You know, there was a few, but it was pretty much that. And here I am sitting here, but only been on the job about 3 months, maybe 4 months, and trying to be, fit in as much as you can. My wife is sitting there. Hamilton comes over and he taps her on the shoulder, and she scares and yeah. He said, "Are you his wife?" And she said, "Uh-huh." He said, "You know, you're not near as ugly as he said you were."
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
And that was the first fireman that my wife ever talked to or heard from.
And she scarred her for the rest of her life.
No, she never forgot it.
Ah.
Now, Dickie Hamilton was a super guy. He was super.
She's sitting right here and she's laughing out loud.
Ah, nice. Did you? How long did it take you before you caught your first job at 210?
Well, that's what I said at the very beginning. I was walking from Proby school in my Class A's down. I park up the block because I didn't know where to park in front of a firehouse. I just knew you couldn't park in front of the firehouse. And as I get right to the corner of the firehouse, the door starts to go up. And sirens going, the lights are flashing, and here comes Rescue 2 pulling out in front. And I haven't even gone into the house watch yet. I'm still outside. They pull out, and 210 must have been out. They weren't in quarters.
Right.
They pull out on the apron, closing the door, and I can't remember if it was Billy Mundy. Was Billy still there with you when you went in?
Nope.
He was a super, super guy. He lived out in Orchard Beach, and he ran to the firehouse and home every day that he worked. It was either him or Little Hoppy, the devil. I think the devil had left when you were talking there too. There was Big Hoppy and Little Hoppy. Well, Little Hoppy or Billy said, "Hey, are you the new Proby?" I said, "Uh-huh." He said, "Come on, we're going to a 1075. And I jumped on the rig. I hadn't even checked into 210 yet, and I went to my first all hands.
There you go. In your Class A's.
Yep. And you see that picture you got up there now?
That's it?
The lump that's in, no, I was a first grade by then. That lump in the middle is me.
Do it again, Mike. Let me see.
That was in 41 truck, 41 truck.
Oh, but we're ahead. That's ahead.
Yeah, that's a jump ahead.
Yeah.
That's me up there in the front.
All right, but when did you catch your first job in 210?
My first job at 210 was in a factory. A Olo tenement down across the street from the hospital.
Okay.
First one, and Walter had me, and of course I had my boots pulled all the way up. My Rangers were pulled all the way up. Didn't have turnout pants back in those days.
Nope.
I had my James Way, and that's another story. I had my James Way on me, and he had me on the knob.
Really?
Right there. Yep, he had me on the knob.
So let me no mask, and you were riding the back step.
Yep, no mask.
Bingo.
Didn't ride the back step until 77 or 78, I think it was.
Wow, that's awesome.
Unbelievable.
So you go to this job, you're a nozzle man, you have no mask.
I'm kneeling down, and the fire, we're on the first floor.
Mm-hmm.
It's occupied. Old law tenement, or not old, the old wooden building, like a brownstone. That row frame. Thank you. Sometimes, hold on a minute.
Still parched.
Mike's secret stuff.
Dude, I love this guy.
Lubrication.
Every time you hear the word row frame, take a drink.
Yeah.
So I get in there and I'm kneeling down. They had wooden stairs, wooden platform up at the front door and everything. The fire was supposed to be on that floor. And we could see a little bit of flame. Well, the problem was the fire was down in the basement. And it was coming out and burning the stairs and the platform that we were standing on. I was kneeling on. And my Rangers got all burnt. The front of my turnout, the Jamesway got burnt. And Walter said, "We're going in." He grabbed me by the back of my Jamesway. He said, "Open it up." Rescue 2 wasn't there. They were out at some other place. And we went, and that was my first job.
Nice.
It was really good. And going down, keep your face down, your head down. "I can't see." "Don't worry, I'm taking you." And he drugged me right in. He was a great boss. He was a super, super, super boss. He taught me a lot about the job and all.
Yep. Did you
Back to the engine, one quick one.
Yeah.
With Danny Murphy.
Yeah.
The officer I was leaving was Walter Stakoviak.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't know who his relief was going to be. He comes down the stairs because he heard Danny yelling and screaming. And he looks at me and he says, "You're my relief?" I said, "Yes, sir." "How's that, Pop?" He says, "I'm going to retire."
I'm done.
He says, "My probie got promoted to lieutenant. I'm going to retire."
And that was it.
And that was it. And he did. He retired after that. A super guy, a lot of good times.
Let me ask you a question. At 210, you always catch one good job in the Navy Yard. Did you get a good job in the Navy Yard?
Yep.
You're at least one or two a year, guaranteed.
And while I was in the Navy, I was waiting to go to the Ingraham, and I made third class, and I was there as an MP on the brig at the Navy Yard.
When they had a job.
Yep. No, while I was back in the Navy.
But at 210, you caught a good job in the Navy Yard, no doubt. At least one.
Every one of them. With all those wooden buildings they had all around, there was constantly, somebody get pissed off at somebody and start a fire just for the hell of it.
Yep. At least one good one a year you would go to.
210 was great. There is a picture in one of the fire department books where Alarokas, well, he wouldn't have been there because Triple O died of a heart attack. In fact, rescue had to take him to the hospital. He just got in the door and signed in, and boom. But his father and two brothers had all died from heart attacks in Triple O. He was Triple O. His name was Al Orokos, Orokos.
Triple O.
So we called him Triple O. They were a great bunch of guys. Back one kitchen thing in 210. As I said, they were all the persuasion, the Italian persuasion.
Asian persuasion.
You ate Italian food or you starved to death. It was the first time in my life, they'd go in there. "Hey, what are you going to do? A little meatballs, a little sausage. Hey, we got to have something red." They asked me if I'd be interested in having a particular meal that I'd never had in my life. I said, I'm in. Because in the firehouse, you're in or you're out.
You're in or you're out.
Period. That's the end of it. So I'm in. Holy shit. That was the first and the last time I ever ate gunzeel.
What is that?
Squid.
Oh, scungeel.
Scungeel.
Oh, scungeel.
Holy crap, I chewed that piece of shit for a half hour. And finally, I spit it out. I had sucked all the gravy out of it, and I wasn't going to eat another.
Scungeel.
Scungeel, hey.
You gotta do the napkin trick where you spit the food in the napkin.
Ah,
Was
you didn't
the
have a pizza tonight. I can tell you that much. You were spitting that pizza in the napkin.
not there, not with them boys. I mean, every meal was beautiful. Every meal was great, and it was all different every time,
Yeah.
lunch or dinner, but it was always Italian. I mean, there was no
You're working with a bunch of kiddies, bro. What do you expect?
As the probie, when rescue was in there, I had to go around the corner to the bodega and pick up a couple of footballs.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys old enough to know what a football is?
I know what a football is.
Well, Arnie Merkich, you know that name?
No.
No?
What's a
Nope.
football?
All right. A football is a quart bottle of Miller Lite beer.
I know
Oh.
what a football is. Yeah.
That's a football.
Yeah.
Okay.
Court.
Yeah, I didn't hear him. I'm sorry. So everybody would, get their own football, and Arnie Merkich had the biggest collection of antique fire equipment known to mankind. Every helmet, steel helmet, leather helmets, everything, badges. The guy had the gas running lights that were on the old fire trucks. Back in the 17s when they had the propane lights and all. He had them. He had every bit of it.
Now he's a 210 guy or rescue 2 guy?
No, rescue. Rescue. It was always the rescue guys that would send me around. The engine guys knew that the probie's not supposed to be doing that.
Yeah.
But they'd send me around the corner and I'd come back with 4 or 6 footballs. Except that Arnie Merkich always says, and get me a bag of sour cream potato chips and a baby Gouda. The round cheese, the baby Gouda. That's what he wanted. Now, back to my question. The hole in the ceiling in the kitchen, was it gone? Was it covered over?
No.
It's still there.
I can't believe it.
They've done that firehouse over, but when I was there, it was still there.
Oh, that's right. They did do
the whole firehouse over. It looks like a gap from downtown or something. It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
We started getting rats, and they started going up to the 3rd floor where the rescue office was, where Cappy Lawler was. He had rats and mice, the smell, and all this. He came down one day and he says, every one of you guys with pickup trucks are to bring your trucks in the next time you come to work. Okay, Cappy, what are we going to do? He says, you're going to empty the ceiling in the kitchen. Because every time the guys would finish their football, they'd go in the kitchen and throw it up into the ceiling. Well, by the time they got done, them freaking footballs were all the way out to the front of quarters.
Yep.
I don't know how many pickup trucks they do, but I know for 3 damn days they kept emptying that thing out. And I'm sitting there one day and I'm looking at Timmy Higgins. Higgins was probably out of 2 by then. He's sitting up there on that stainless steel sink. And he got a cigarette lighter in his hand while they were up there throwing these empty footballs down. And he's farting and lighting it up. He's shooting farts out about that far. His ass.
You gotta love
a good bunch of guys, I'm telling you.
That's awesome.
A good bunch of guys. That 210, fantastic.
All right, let me move on to, so it's 73, right? You decided to go to engine 90?
Yeah. 90.
Why?
Well, Mike Bradley was the lieutenant in Rescue 2 at the time.
Right.
Excuse me, I'm thirsty.
Go ahead.
Orange juice, baby.
Mike was one of the most decorated guys on the job. Not near as close as Dickie Hamilton, but he was way up there. And he took a liking to me. And he was working, in fact, part of the story, we was working one night and he was working in the engine. I don't know whether he was doing a overtime or mutual, who knows what. And we catch a job. They were at the very end of our district, down in the nice section where the houses are, not downtown like with juniors and all that was up there.
Yeah.
And we get there and we catch a job, and Mike saw what I did, and he thought I would do good, in the job. And we get out, and some jackass is parked on the hydrant. Mike pulls up the ticket book, and he hands me the ticket book, and he says, "Write him up." Okay, but it might take me a couple of minutes. He said, "That's all right. Go ahead. Just take your time." He said, "Make sure everything looks good, and make sure they can read your name. All the numbers got to be good, but they got to be able to read your name." Okay. Well, I sat down in there and I read and looked and flashing the light. And after about 10 or 15 minutes, Mike says, "Have you got that done?" And I said, I got to ask you a question." She said, "What?" So I get out of the rig and I walk up by the door and I says, "You want to do this?" He said, "Why? What were you doing?" I said, "I don't know how to fill out a ticket." He looked down and he looked at it and he said, "You know now that I'm going to have to tear this out, go back to quarters, write up a report for a missing ticket, and write a new ticket for this jackass." And that's what he did. And that was the last time I ever had to write a ticket up until I got promoted to lieutenant. And that's another story. But anyway, Mike was working that night and he liked it. And what happened, he said, "If you ever move upstate or anything, you want to get out of the island, and you get tired of the LIE in the parking lot, let me know. I think I can help you." His uncle was Deputy Assistant Chief Bradley, his uncle. So Mike was my rabbi. So anyway, I rebuilt my house out in North Bay Shore. My wife's sister, husband lived up in Hidden Valley between Middletown and Port Jervis. We went up. She said, "Look, the house is finished. You're going to have to go back to work." I took my whole vacation and fixed it up. We get up there, and the most beautiful place up in the mountains. Oh, man, what a place. I bought a house that weekend. I go back and call Mike, and I said, "Man, it's going to be tough traveling from 210.
Oh, my God.
He said, "All right, here's what you got to do." He said, "I'd like to see you in 58 truck." He said, "A lot of work, but you're not going to get in there right away. What I got to do?" He said, "Put a paper in for 90 engine. Spend 6 months in 90, cross the floor to 41. I said, "Yeah, but I want to catch some work." He said, "Don't worry about it. 90 and 41 are relief companies for 82 and 31. He said, every time they're out, you're going."
And they were out a lot.
And they were out a lot. This was before report
73, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I left in 73. Yep. And went up, got in 90. Let's just say 90 was is great, to a good place to be. And I did my 6 months. I crossed the floor. I went to 41.
I mean, it only took you 6 months to cross the floor. Nobody else wanted to go across the floor? Really?
Yeah, not that much.
Huh.
Wow.
Let's forget it. It was good. It was
all right.
Good
we'll leave it at that.
And yeah, leave it like that.
Now, where were they in comparison in the South Bronx? Were they?
They were White Plains and Tremont. They were the next company. They were overlapping districts.
Right.
We ran in with them a lot. Just like 58 would go down and run in with 82 and 31.
Right.
And 75 and 33. And I mean, 58 was going nonstop.
Right.
They were 27-2. And 27 and 27-2 was fantastic.
Right.
So I did my time in 90. I did my time in 41. And put my papers in. I waited another year to get in the 58 truck.
Right.
And
Let me ask you a question, Mike. Did you know Dennis Smith? Did you work with him back then?
yeah. You want to push this?
Yeah, sure. I love pushing the envelope, bro. Do it.
Oh, boy.
It
Oh,
can't
boy.
get worse than
It doesn't
Shorty
sound like it's
titties. I
gonna
mean,
be
come
good.
on.
Well, I mean, I would see him in quarters and stuff, and he
Right.
wrote the book. And when he said in that book, your mother wears combat boots, that's not exactly the terminology I heard about people's mothers.
Yeah.
And that was only half a word when I worked up there. And then he got the book was successful and everything, and he got transferred out to Onion Skin, sent out to 70 on City Island.
Yes, he yeah.
Now the guys out in City Island, for the most part, deserved to go to City Island. They,
Right.
I mean, what they have 700 runs a year, and 70 of them were boat fires.
Yeah.
The guy across the street from quarters lived across the street.
He used to
from
put
quarters.
his boots on the porch,
Left
right?
him on the rig. Yep.
Yeah.
Left right there. Well, what the hell? They're all dead now. I get in there one day on an overtime from 58 and put my gear down, and I figured, hey, 58 day tour, I got this made, And the house watch guy is sitting there, and I says, hey, where the hell is everybody? I went back in the kitchen, and there's nobody back there. He said, no, they're not in the kitchen. Oh, they're upstairs. He said, no, they're not upstairs. Down in the basement? No, they're not down in the basement. Where the hell is everybody? He said, down on the corner. I said, what? He said, they're down on the corner in the bar. One of the guys that used to work for the telephone company hooked up a rig on the house watch desk. And if they got a run, he would push the button. The rig would pull out with the chauffeur, go down to the corner, and the guys would be standing out on either side of the street. Some of them still had their glasses in their hand. And off they would go to their 10-9-2 or their boat fire. It was I thought it was hilarious. I said these guys deserved it and everything. But what a way to from 58 truck to 70 engine. That was a hell of a jump. I'll tell you. The hell of a jump.
Say, bro.
So anyway, I go out there another overtime, and at this time everybody was in the back. They were all cooking, and I go back to anything I can do to help. Say, clean a couple of pots, pan, whatever you're doing, okay. And that's the reason I quit. I started cooking because I hated cleaning pots. But anyway, another story. So I had heard that Dennis Smith was working out there. I said, Dennis work out here? They said, oh, yeah, they are. They're over cooking and everything. And in that company, they would go and they would put everything on the plate and put it on the table.
You have to tell the story about Dennis Smith and report from Engine Company 82. You have to tell them that he was worldwide.
Well, that's what I'm leading up to.
Okay.
That's what I'm leading up to.
Come on, Jim, slow it down.
Everybody read his book.
I've read it multiple times, yeah.
That's the part I'm saying about one of the guys said something to it about, your mother wears combat boots.
Uh-huh.
That's not exactly what we would have said, I don't think. I think we'd have been a different terminology.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, back to Dennis. He had gotten an onion skin to go to 70 engine so that it would be quiet enough for him to write the screenplay
Right.
for the movie, for Report for Engine Company 82. And they're putting all the food out on the plates and stuff, and I'm down there helping and blah, blah, blah. And one of the guys goes over to the horn and says, oh, Dennis, we got the food on the table. Are you coming down and you want us to cover it for you? What? And I hear him come back. Could you please cover it for me? I'm right in the middle of a chapter. I'll be down in a little while. Thank you. I said, you son of a bitch. I'd have picked that freaking plate up and it had been in the garbage. And when he came down, that's exactly where he would have got his dinner. You come down and eat with the brothers, you clean up with the brothers, and then you go back and write your story. Give me a freaking break. I'll be down in a little bit.
Don't hold back.
Shit. Anyway,
So you go to 58 truck.
Yeah, move it along. We're going to move it along.
I just what Jim was saying was, the story with the combat boots. I mean, you guys know as well as I do. No, that is not the terminology used in a firehouse.
By the time when you were working in 90 and 41, he was already at 70 engine.
No, I think he was still down in 82.
So did you see him at all, like at jobs and stuff?
Yeah, you see him once in a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to understand, in the later years that I was in 58, 82 and 31 there was nothing down there.
It was all burned down.
I mean, they weren't, everything was burned down.
Yep.
They weren't near as busy as they had been. They were, I mean, they were still catching work, but not like report from Engine Company 82.
Right.
I mean, those guys were getting their asses whooped.
Yeah.
There's no question of it. But one of the best guys, November the 22nd, 1975, I went in the 58 truck as number 27 on the learning list. Number 26 was Jesse J. Johnson. Him and I went into 58 on the same day. Black fellow. Best friend I had. One of the best friends I had. When
Really?
Jesse walked into the room and he started to smile, you could turn the lights off because that smile and those teeth of his would light up the whole freaking room.
Right.
And he was a super, super guy. But yeah, that's another story.
How much work was 58 doing back then? I mean, was that
the house was doing 24,000.
24,000.
The house. That was the chief, us, the engine, the relief companies.
Wow.
One of my meals got screwed up by the third relief company that came into our quarters.
Wow.
We'd go to a job, whatever, all hands, second alarm, third alarm, fourth alarm, send in a relief company out to a job, second, third, whatever. Send in a relief company.
How many? What's the most jobs you ever went to well, you guys didn't work 24s back then, right? You worked straight.
Yeah,
forward?
I was married. I was married to Richie DeCola.
Okay, so how many fires would you go into in a 24?
4, 5.
Four jobs in a 24.
Yeah. Sometimes 2. Sometimes it was unbelievable.
Almost like the 4th of July.
Yeah. Oh, you want to hear the 4th of July story?
Oh yeah,
Yes, I do.
Look at that.
I got
Good job,
one.
guys.
For you. We had a brand new. Let's see. Did I finish? I finished with 82. Finished with 31.
That's up to you, man.
All right. Let's go to 58 because that was my baby. I waited a long time. I technically waited about 2.5 years, considering my time in 90 and 41, and then going, waiting to get to 58. It was a long time waiting to get in there. 2 years anyway. The guys were the greatest bunch of guys to work with. And I've said this numerous times. I wish somebody that was retired up there could take the time to go downtown and write up how many people were promoted out of 58 truck with as many runs as we did. Matty Murtaugh started the classes, Lieutenant, 27-2. Big Al, bite my ass, Yukovic. That was his term, bite my ass. He was the captain in 58 truck. He was a captain in 27 too. And he became the captain in 58. I got a great write-up over there when February 1970, when 27-2 became 58.
So what happens? So 27-2,
Yeah.
they opened up 58 truck with 27-2?
No, 27-2 became 58 truck.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They became 58 truck. Yeah.
Yep.
Were they did they put in with what engine then? Were they put in with
45 engine.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
But
The
we
Eagle.
weren't put in with them. We weren't put in with them.
Oh, you had two separate firehouses next door, right? That's right.
The captain they had in there, and for the life of me, for some reason, I can't remember his name. I didn't like him, but maybe that had something to do. I don't know. They told him, we're building a new firehouse. We're going to tear down these taxpayers, and we're going to build a new one, and you'll be in and with 58 truck and the battalion. He said, no, we won't. Huh? He said, no, we won't. Do you realize that we are almost 100 years in this firehouse, and you want me to take my company out of this? No. Go ahead and build whatever you want, but 45 engines are not leaving here, and they're still here today.
Wow.
And I believe they had their 125th anniversary about 20 years ago.
See if you can find a picture of that firehouse, Mike.
Yeah, they were
The two
side by
firehouses right
side.
next
Yep.
to each other.
Yep. Great bunch of guys. I don't know if can you see this?
I can.
This is 58 truck. This was the patch that we used when I went into 58. We had to go out to on Long Island to Grumman, the airport place, because this was used on the NASA.
Grumman was building the F-14 Tomcat at the time.
Ah,
All weather, all principal air time. It was anytime, any place, baby.
That was the name of it. And some of the brothers went out there and asked if we could use it on our rig. And they said, you can't use it exactly because we already have it, written.
right.
It's hard to see. Well, the Grumman had the Tiger with one tail. We have one with two.
Just a little bit different. That's
That's
all.
the only thing different. And that was on our, I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I think I know why. But that's what we rode with. And I've got some of the old patches, and I'm proud to still wear mine.
You should
even
be.
though I'm not there. But what started changing was the guys in 45 engine. They were one hell of a firefighting company. My God, were they good brothers. And if you look on the internet today at all the fires and stuff you see today, you'll see 58 truck and 45 and a lot of them. They're still going today. But back then, 45.
It's still a shit mess up there, man.
Yeah, it really is. But you know what's happening is them damn lithium batteries from China.
Yep.
That's taking all hands and turning all hands into fourth and fifth alarms.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But anyway, back to 45.
Hey, Mike, I got a question for you quick. Even though they were in separate quarters, did the engine and the truck get along? Was it
super?
Super.
Absolutely. One company feeding one night, one feeding the other.
Right.
Until I started cooking. And that changed.
So you made your Irish gravy, and they're like, "We're out."
Well, no.
Turkey and mashed potatoes.
He's making gravy and mashed taters.
There you go. There they are.
So they left 45's firehouse just like it was, and they built the new quarters for 58.
Exactly. Yep.
And the battalion?
18th battalion.
Wow.
18th battalion. Great battalion. Great officers, somewhat. And
now, could you, at any point in the firehouse, could you cross over it?
Well, what we did while I was there, so this was a while after 58 was in quarters. So 58 went into there in 70.
Right.
I went in 75. When I got there, they had knocked the wall down
In
between the back of 45 and into 58's kitchen area, right in front of it. And after I left, they knocked a hole in up above from 45 bunk bed, a bunk room. Well, they had shortened the bunk room up. They had extended it for studying and stuff, and into 58's back room. Now, back to what I was saying before, I wish one of the brothers, I've asked several of them, if they had the time that they could find out just how many guys were promoted out of 58 truck and where they went to. Stan Daw was in 45 engine. He went to 58 truck, assistant chief of department. He retired. Okay.
Down here now is a retiree.
Who is?
Stanley Daw.
Oh, yeah.
Here
Yeah.
now is a
Yes.
retiree.
Exactly. Jim just brought that up. This patch is the FDNY CRA, Fire Department of New York, Carolinas Retiree Association. And we're at about 160 guys now. Of course, you got the usual 30, 40, that you always see, but still, 160 guys is great. And Stan is in there with me, with Kevin Delahunt and Jimmy, Kevin Delahunty, Bob Gustafson. I could go on and on and on. Patty Sullivan was in 162, I think it was, with Bob Gustafson. Got promoted to lieutenant. Bob was driving Patty as his chauffeur. Patty went up to 58 truck, died from 9/11.
Oh, no.
He had a beautiful, big memorial with his turnout coat behind it. And Patty Sullivan, 58 truck and 45 engine, have across their windshield in memory of Lieutenant Patty Sullivan. I didn't know him personally, but he must have been a hell of a guy. And I know Bobby Gustafson, and he's a hell of a guy.
When you were in 58, Mike, was there any jobs that come to mind where you were like, oh, shit,
Oh,
I might buy it here?
Oh, shit. I remember one of them, I had left quarters to go get the meal. And when I came back, there was nobody in quarters. I found out they were the fourth alarm. So I had to put the meal in the refrigerator, grab all my gear, and go over. I drove over to the fourth alarm. And we were there until about 2 o'clock in the morning. My God, there were so many of them. I could have better stories about when we were on that the interchange. If you got 50 points before midnight, the next night you got to go out to Queens.
Right.
Well, half of that was good and half of it was bad, because if you broke your balls on Tuesday night and 58 went to Queens on Wednesday, you're not working, because you've either done a 24 or done the 24.
Done your 2 night tours already. Yeah.
One night we get out there. We had, I think there was 3 different companies in Queens that we interchanged with. And we went out there one night. We stopped off to get the meal. We get there. I'm getting ready to cook the meal. An alarm comes in. Everybody said, "What the hell's going on?" We hadn't been there 45 minutes, and an alarm's coming in. So we go. First steward of fourth.
Wow.
First steward of fourth. We're there until 4 o'clock in the morning.
Jeez.
The meal's back in the refrigerator. Do you want to stay here and cook it? Hell no. Let's go to our own quarters. We picked the thing up. We went back. I finished cooking it, and we ate it about 7 o'clock in the morning. 8 o'clock in the
Right.
morning.
It's probably delicious.
Oh God! I mean, I remember another one. It wasn't a bad fire, but the chief could not believe it. Oh, okay, I got that. I still, to this day, carry this.
I'm a little scared. I don't know what he's
Why am
gonna-
I sitting in this damn chair?
I don't know what he's gonna whip out right here, bro. Who knows?
I was going to show us his tits.
Oh, his blade May.
We're out in Queens.
Yeah.
And
Puerto Rican move right there, Mike.
we had finished our meal this time.
Yeah.
And we get an oil burner fire, a private home, private dwelling. We get there, and we had an overtime guy that came. That's all part of it. See, this guy didn't do shit the night before, and he's coming out in Queens to relax, and he didn't even work. That's the way that was the good and the bad.
That's how that happened, right?
Yeah. Well, of course, as a covering guy, he's got the irons or the can. You know, that's the part of the job. That's how it's going to do it. Well, he's over there and he's got the axe and he's getting ready to rear back. I said, "Don't you dare." And I grabbed the axe, I pull it out of his hand. He said, "What?" Now it's cooking and we could see it cooking. It was an oil burner fire, but it was cooking pretty good. I said, "Wait a minute." Popped it out. Took out the 3 stiles, pried out the glass, reached in, opened the door, and
Like
we
a
went out. We were gentlemen.
Yeah.
I came out. The chief is standing there, and he said, "Come here, Chuck." I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Thank you." He said, "I expected you Bronx bombers to come out here and bust this whole house, the kingdom come, and you come in and walk in like a gentleman and open that and I put the window back in place, put the stiles back in place, and took my hand and put the nails back in place." He said, "I can't believe you."
Gentleman
did that."
truckies, right? Gentleman from the Bronx, baby.
I said, "That
Oh,
was
you go ahead. You take the first two. No, you go ahead. Go.
No, you go first. No, you first.
I said, "Thank you. Just in case you forget, Chief, that's 58 truck for you."
Bingo.
Bingo.
Mike, did you work for the blackout?
No.
No.
Which one?
77.
I think I was off.
Wow.
But the other one I was, November 69. I
you
was
worked
sitting on the top floor, 5, 6 row of burners in Con Ed. And
in 69. Right, but you weren't on the fire department.
no. And I'm
Wow.
looking at a book, and all of a sudden, boom, one of my fans went down. Oh shit. What did I do? Boom, another one goes down. I said, "Holy shit, what's going on?" Now, and I'm supposed to be checking these fans. I hadn't looked at them 2 hours. And I look out and all the lights are going out, and she's at home with a brand new baby. The other one I didn't go to. So we're past that now. I didn't work for the blackout though.
No.
I was off. I must have been off that.
All right, explain the pictures. Great pictures.
Okay, yeah.
Mike, go through some pictures here.
Talk about the pictures. Let's get back to the kitchen first. The reason that I started cooking, the guys to this day say, "Oh yeah, he's a good cook," but that son of a bitch used every pot, pan, and dish in the
What do you
kitchen.
care? You don't got to clean them if you're cooking, bro.
That's why I started cooking.
I know it.
Just like I said way back then.
Yep.
And that little redhead woman over there, she's the one that
I want
started.
to see her before the show's on. I got to see this.
Absolutely, she's my babe.
Oh, no doubt she is.
We went together for 4 years, and now we've been married. What, a couple of months, something like 61 years.
It's a short time.
Short
Yeah,
time.
we've been 4 years. We've been married 61.
61 years, bro. It feels like 5 minutes, right?
No.
5 minutes underwater.
Maybe 10.
Hold on, this is the voice of Mrs. Mike Williams.
Nada. But she's been the best to put up with all my bullshit in those years.
No doubt, bro.
You got to realize, when I was in 58 truck, I was going 12 semester hours at college. I had my business painting. I had my business installing storm windows and doors. And what was the other one?
College.
No, I did the college.
Fire department.
Yeah, that's the.
No, I had another one in the fire department. Anyway.
You were a busy man making money, bro.
Oh, I was a guard at the Concord Hotel.
Mm.
My mother was a payroll supervisor at the Concord Hotel, and I was a guard up there. So anyway, back to the kitchen.
That's why you lasted 61 years, because you were never home, bro.
You got that right.
True.
But we still got 4 kids.
He's like, is that pain in the ass home tonight? What?
Making up for lost time there.
Probably more than, who the hell is that?
Yeah.
The thing with the kitchen, I truly hated cleaning pots and pans. It was a pain in the ass. But my beautiful bride was a super cook. Her grandmother ran a restaurant. Her mother was a great cook. She was a great cook. I decided one night, instead of washing pots and pans, I'm going to cook a meal. So I called my bride and I say, hon, how can I make Swedish meatballs? And she taught me right to it. I made Swedish meatballs that came out super Norwegian sweet ball beauty. Gravy was just the right thickness. Egg noodles were perfect, the whole 9 yards. I get home, I ask her, I say, hey, everybody liked that. Give me some of your other recipes. So she gave me a couple of them. And then every once in a while, I would change my mind. I'd say, hey, well, let me do something a little special. I'd pick her up on the phone, I'd give her a toot, and she'd, okay, and she'd give me a recipe. Well, the other guys were making meatloaf.
Always.
Eddie Harrington, if you're looking, Eddie Harrington, my 2 sons still remember your meatloaf. We called him Meatloaf Harrington for a long time, and I ain't going to tell you why. They make baked chicken.
Meatloaf, that's okay.
Shit like that.
Yardbird, half a Yardbird man.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, I would make
Swedish meatballs. That's a different one.
Yeah, that was just one thing. I made shrimp scampi fettuccine. I made chicken cordon bleu. I made
getting hungry.
The
little chicken palm, maybe.
So all different kinds of specialty meals, and because of that, I had a lot of good things happen to me in the fire department. Namely, Chief Alt, Anthony Alt, best chief any man could ever want to work for. Super, super good. Number 1.
Good pictures.
Oh.
Yeah, Mike, we got to.
Yeah.
Yep. Of
Let's
course,
go through
he's your
some
best
here.
buddy because you fed him well. That's why he loved you. You kidding me?
But now that job, middle of the day, we were just getting ready to have lunch. This job is right to the left of the fire. There was a row of private dwellings, 2-story private dwellings, and our parking lot. We were just getting ready to have lunch. In fact, Nick Contelmo had just made a pasta vazul. And one of the guys went out to the backyard to get something out of his car, and he hollers, comes running back in, everybody goes. And what the hell are you talking about? We're getting ready to eat. He said, no, everybody goes. And all of a sudden, an alarm box comes in. Dispatcher calls multiple alarms. We jump in the rig, go around the corner, and there's what you see.
Boom.
That's what we met.
Wow.
Now, this picture, there's can you push that picture to the left?
We have to take it off. Yeah, I don't remember to do that.
Anyway,
Show the first floor.
You have another picture that blew up. Same one.
Yeah, if you can. Lower it down. But the guy walking with the axe behind his head, that was Louis Capone, Louis Telecapone. So he was forever on the phone. It was 58 truck. Now that's 38 truck right in front. Now you talk about good truck.
I see him right
Then
there.
an 88 truck, 88 engine. What a company and a half.
Was that the one
Holy
by
shit.
Yankee Stadium?
No, first
No?
do at the zoo.
Oh, first do at the zoo. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yep. 38 over by Yankee Stadium. I mean 68. I'm sorry. The rig was pulled right up against in that empty lot, and nosed in to the side of that building. I went up to the roof. I opened the bulkhead door. There was no windows left in the top, but there was so much fire that smoke was that bad. I go back to the rig to go down, and the rig is gone. Now, and I'm not going to mention the guy's name, but it was Joe Nicholson. I mean, we called him the Babe.
Walk it out. Joe Nicholson.
I have to. I got a frog in my throat. The son of a bitch had moved the rig again. So I got to go back in that building, go down to the first floor, the sixth floor, and thank God I did, because I fell over Charlie Fodor. 45 engine. They were bringing it. Don't ask me how he got up there. I think he was either working in their truck or whatever. And to this day, I do not remember this clearly. One of our reunions, I'm sitting over there with our bunch of guys, the old timers, and somebody taps me on the shoulder, and I turn around and look, and it's Charlie, and he said, "Mike, I'm so glad you're here. This is the first reunion I ever made, and I just got to thank you." I said, "What for?" He said, "For saving me that day." To this day, I'm still not sure about it, but I laid down on top of him, rolled him over, fireman's carry. I carry him back up to the roof. No rig. I come back in, and I took him down through all that shit. Now to the street. That was my first fireman's save.
Did you get a medal for it?
Nope, didn't put in for it. I had.
Of course you didn't.
I got a few up there, but that was my first fireman save. My second fireman save, of all people, had to be my rabbi, Mike Bradley.
Oh, the chief?
He gets me in the 50th. Now he's a battalion chief, yeah. I don't know if he's gone. I've tried calling him. I can't get to him. But we were first due on a second alarm box way down going towards 3rd Avenue, 180th. And Mike, off the rig, boom, in you going. When we pulled down this, it was all Queen Anne's. So you know that's not 58's normal quarters, district. And the black lady just standing out in the street, she gets up screaming, "Start the water, start the water." We hadn't even pulled up yet, and she's screaming, "Start the water." Well, we pull up. I, as usual, because Gene Sennett, what a boss. My God, what a boss. Gene Sennett. Regrettably, he's not with us anymore. He was super, super good. I would say 90% of the time that we worked together, I was OV. He hated to be in the bucket when it shook. And I didn't shook it. We'll use that as one of the tips of the day.
Oh, don't give it away yet.
Nope, we won't do that. So I'm helping the chauffeur set the tormentors. Yeah, it's a beautiful Queen Anne. You guys know where the Queen Anne is?
Sure do.
There's got the cupolas on the outside.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sitting in a big, beautiful, gorgeous 3-story wood structure.
It usually has a back stairways from the kitchen to the 3rd floor. It's got the wraparound porch. Beautiful home. Beautiful.
They got the cupolas on the outside. It's top ones that they didn't call them the Widow's Walk. That was out at the beach, but it's same concept. Anyway, I'm I'm finishing setting up on the right side, the OB side, and I look up, and Mike Bradley is hanging out of a window, hanging down, out. Now, I haven't got the tormentors completely set yet. I jump up on the side and at the back of the rig, jump in the bucket, take the bucket up, and I start swinging it around. I'm short because those Queen Anne's and those nice neighborhoods up there had long front yards on them and all. I get the bucket up, and I'm at the top of the window below where Mike is hanging out. I climb up on the handrail, and I grab him by the jacket, by his turnout, and yank him out and get him in the bucket. Get him down.
Is he unconscious?
Yes, he was out. He was knocked out cold. He was. I knew he was out cold when I looked up and saw him hanging out there because he wasn't moving, nothing. And get him out, get him down to the street. And I had a way that I could take the bucket, swing it out, bring it down, and just clear the side of the rig and set it down perfectly on the street. And we pulled him out of there, and he went right straight to the hospital.
Wow. You get written up for that one.
Huh?
You didn't get written up for that one.
He was gone, and that was my second fireman save.
But you didn't get a medal for that?
Didn't ask for it.
You know, you missed your opportunity there, Mike. When the lady, I'm talking about when the lady came out.
There was 4 other ones that I didn't have.
I'm talking about when the lady came out and said, "Start the water." You know what you should have said, right?
Yeah.
Show us your tits.
Yeah. I should have. You want water? Show us your tits.
Well, folks, we had a great run.
Good point. Good point. I'll tell you what, from what I remember, she had a lot bigger than Trainwreck, too. Anyway.
Wow, motorboat, son of a bitch, you.
Some of the things that was so good. One of the things we did, one of our runs back into the kitchen, was the worst temper tantrum I ever had in the firehouse. We had gone out, and I had made chicken cordon bleu. Now, when you make chicken cordon bleu, every one of the brothers gets 2 pieces.
Right.
I usually make broccoli and another nice veggie. And I make my own gravy. Now, there was a thing down here about Chief Joe Short and Frank Ritchie. Chief Short was in, I believe it was 30 truck as captain, and he got burned. Not with flames. When the brothers came back from a job, they stopped at a bodega, and there may have been a little bit of imbibement, and some prick of a deputy shows up for some reason or another, and he calls everybody down. I don't know whether he was going to congratulate them or whatever, but he gets them all down, and he smells beer. So he hooks Short up, and Chief Short was not the man. You got to overlook some things in the job, and that's one of the things you should overlook. Anyway, he got burned. He became a battalion chief, and luckily he was in the 18th Battalion. That's another story. Remind me of that one.
Chief Short, I'm on it.
He got hurt by that, but he was a super guy, and it wasn't fair. But
You were cooking.
I was cooking, and we had this job. I had made the gravy, and the gravy is made with cream of mushroom soup. Well, cream of mushroom soup out of the can is kind of thick. you know, you got to kind of water it down a little bit or something with something clear. I wouldn't put
Vodka?
water in. Yeah, I wouldn't put water in. So anyway, we go out to the job. Every meal I cooked on the job in 58 had some form of gravy. Because guaranteed you were going to have that meal sitting there when you come back from a second or a third or a fourth or whatever, oil hand, whatever. You need something to reheat it without sticking it in the oven and burning the crap out of it.
You're a forward thinker, Mike. I like it.
That's got to be, thanks to my redhead. So anyway, we get back and I'm dishing everything out and heating it. And we had a relief company in, bunch of Queen's Quiffs.
Fuck you.
Hold back, Mike. Don't hold back. Really.
Fuck you.
Hey, you guys know it as well as I know it. That's what they were called.
I know they were called that.
Queens Marines, my ass. They only ring Queens Marines as they were working out at Marine Park. That was it. Anyway, I get back and I'm dishing out, giving everybody their two and the broccoli and whatever and everything. There's two of them gone.
Somebody, no fucking way, Mike. That's a
Come
big
to find out,
right
the
there, Mike.
captain of the relief company took the two of them and ate them.
I hope you kicked his ass.
I didn't necessarily kick his ass, but I'm sure his ass burned for 2 weeks after everything I called him.
Oh, man.
And the thing of it was his men told me about it.
They ratted him out.
They ratted him out because apparently it was the same prick that he was.
He was a douchebag. He was a douche.
He was a real douche.
He was a douche.
Back to Chief Short. Back to Chief Short. Now, Tony Alt, excuse me, Chief Alt, father of Carol Alt, the cover girl.
Oh, that's right.
Right?
Yep.
And it wasn't Gretzky.
Yes, well.
She married Gretzky or Gore?
It was
I was going to say.
It was Gretzky, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
It was, and that was Chief Alt's oldest girl.
Mm-hmm.
I got a picture
Yeah,
over here.
pictures.
Just found it.
Front to the rig.
I don't know. The front. I don't know. Oh yeah, she was. She was.
If you guys look at the front of the rig pictures,
Wanted to be there. You go.
there she
That's
is.
Carol Alt's
That's
sister.
Carol Alt's ugly sister.
Now, believe
If
it or
there
not,
was such a thing.
If there was such a thing.
She
went.
ugly to me, bro.
Yeah.
While we're here, real quick, the good-looking guy on the left. That's just me. Just.
What the hair you got over there, bro? What is that? What? I don't think it's toupee. I don't know what the hell that is. What?
And look how tall he is. Harry Parr, good friend of mine, Kenny O'Brien, another good story of mine. I love the brother. I love your brother. I cannot remember her name. Next to that, notice how close he tried to wiggle in.
Yeah, he was getting in there close, bro.
That was Buffy, captain of the Rescue 4, Hagelin.
Get out of here. That's Hagelin?
That's Buffy Hagelin right there. 58.
Holy shit. Look at it. Oh, my God. That is him.
I told you, Paul. I told you I was going to say
He
it.
shouted his ass out, bro.
Yeah. Next to him is Ray Benway. Rest in peace, brother. And next to him, great fireman, hurt terrible bad on the job. Jimmy Spolin, driving the commissioner.
Oh, no.
Instead of getting off the job, Jimmy wanted to drive, but he's retired now.
All right.
Go through the pictures, though.
That guy's got the old Tin Man shirt on. The Tin Man.
Yeah.
Let's cover some of these other ones while we have a chance to. We're just gonna go through them.
We might have to have a part 2 here.
We're gonna have to run a part 2, but let's go through some of the pictures in the meantime before we get to the old school tip.
Okay. John Kilroy, cutting the hole. Standing back here, I'm pretty sure is Meatloaf Harrington, Eddie McAtee. But I'm almost wrong about that, and I'll tell you why in a second. The good-looking guy that you can barely see back there is the same one that was good-looking guy on the left of the first picture.
I see him.
Guy on the right is the roof man from 38 truck. Now, you can imagine what kind of heat that is coming up in John's face. He's gone. I believe he's gone now, and he retired as a battalion chief. Eddie Harrington retired as a lieutenant. Eddie, if that's Eddie McAtee, and the more I think about it, I doubt it seriously. It is. And the reason I say that is from the day that I went into 58 truck until the day that I left 58 truck, Eddie Harrington wore a dungaree jacket and dungarees, his helmet, and military issue boots. He never put on a turnout coat. If you'll notice, nobody up there has that great big heavy yellow thing on their backs.
Nope.
I never put in 90 engine, 41 truck, 58 truck, I never put a Scott mask on the entire time I was there. Never put one on.
Wow. What do you got? Give me more pictures, Mike, because we got to move forward a little bit. Holy shit. There's another one.
Well, actually, this one probably should be the second. Well, it doesn't matter. Believe it or not, 58 truck in its infinite beauty, as you can tell, has got the front of this warehouse. We were called first due on the fourth alarm. We got the front of the building. That good-looking boy is on the stang here. Richie D. From my Proby school, Richie DeCola has got the controls. And on the far side of him is one of the best lieutenants on the job, Gene Sennett, rest your peace. Now, you want a tip of the day?
Not yet. Nope.
Okay.
Not yet,
All right.
Not yet.
Keep going. Let's get another one. Now you can see Gino in the middle. That's
From
good.
left to right. From
Left to right is Richie DeCola.
Who's the really short guy in the front?
I'm bending over. I'm bending over so I hold a.
Oh, I got you. Good, Mike.
All right, we'll keep going.
There's my brother, Joe Williamson. Not a brother, but a brother. Joe was in 58, and he's the one that got me in the Coast Guard. Good-looking boy in the front again. With that
guy here with the chop. Hey, look, he's got the chops going on there, bro. He's got the sideburns.
Yep. And believe it or not, you see what I'm wearing?
The Gary's flashlight, man. Look at
that. Yeah. That was one of the rare ones. I got to show you what I used to wear after that.
Who are the other guys, Mike?
Jimmy Spolin, again. Next to him, one of my best friends, Jesse J. Johnson.
That's Jesse. Okay, nice.
That's Jesse. Look at that smile. You see what I'm talking about?
Light up the room, bro. He's got those pearly whites.
He did. And I'll tell you, real quick story. Real quick, before you go to another picture.
Yep.
He had, this man lived, he was on a super pumper system, okay? Piece of cake. I mean, let's face it. That's not exactly the busiest company you're going to be in, right? He was at the telephone company fire.
Oh, shit.
In the 7th basement when they ran out of air. And he swore the day that he was dying with cancer that was where he got it from.
No doubt.
I did a eulogy at his funeral. I love that man more than I could tell you.
Shame.
He's super. Anyway, oh shit, I lost my train of thought. What the hell was I saying?
We can go to the next one in the meantime while you get it
Let's
back.
go to the next one, Mike.
Yeah. There's my man, Mike Bradley. And he was one of the first guys I ever saw that shaved his head because he wanted to. Now
Back in the day, it wasn't trendy.
Except the guy to his right. That guy still liked to have his handlebar mustache and them all sideburns and
look at that guy.
And a toothpick.
And a toothpick.
Oh, look at the toothpick. He's still got the sideburns. He's got the chops.
Yep. This was 58's kitchen.
I was going to say, it looked like train wreck in there.
Yeah, you wish, right? Yeah.
Wrong borough.
Gotta go, Mike.
Wrong borough. This is back to that same fire.
All right.
Same fire.
And hot as hell. Okay, Ray Edmondson.
Wait, go
From the left,
left to right.
left to right, Ray Edmondson, retired captain, I think. Ken Kennedy, Bob Kennedy, Bob Kilkenny, retired battalion chief. My boy, Mike. Captain Rescue 4, Paul Heglin. Doesn't it look like his hair is a lot lighter than it was in the last picture?
Yeah, it does.
Retired
Just
captain.
for me.
Dan Spurchek, retired. I think he was battalion chief. Lives in Charleston, South Carolina, if he's still alive. George Rosensky. And please excuse me if I offend any of you Polacks. Because anybody that's stupid enough to marry the same woman 3 times has to be called a dumb Polak.
Oh, that's a dumb Polak to me, bro.
Wow.
And the good-looking boy next to him.
And there he is again. Oh,
All right, let's go back now.
No,
that'd be me. Okay, me again. Harry Parr, Kenny O'Brien, my man, Chief Anthony Alt, Ray Benway, deceased. Captain
Taglin again.
dark haired this time. Gee,
Yep.
how did he do that? I
don't know. Just for men.
Unbelievable. It must be from standing out in the sun too much.
Something like that.
The next one was Carol Alt, so we're not going to show that one again. That was the one we showed earlier. There's another one in front of 5'8".
Joe Williams, the one I showed you earlier. Kenny
Yeah.
O'Brien. Captain Nemchuk. That's a good 4th of July story for you. John Kilroy, deceased, battalion chief. My man JJ and me chauffeur that day.
Nice. Same crew again.
Yep, left to right. Harry Parr, Ken O'Brien, Ray Benway, Captain Buffy. That's what we call
big
him
dude
now.
next to you. Who's that big dude?
Jimmy Spolin
Big
and
dude.
me. Look at how tall I was. Promotion
look
day.
at that guy.
There's that promotion day.
Mm-hmm.
Still got the sideburns, still got the handlebars.
So let's go quick. You got promoted in 83.
Correct.
Right? And what'd you do? Bounce? You get a spot? What were you doing?
No. I was assigned to the 3rd Division 9th Battalion.
Yeah.
Roach. No, not Roach. Rourke.
No, Tommy Roach.
No, Tony Roach was captain in 58. This was the battalion chief in the 9th Battalion. His name started with an R, only because I thought it was raw ass. The first day tour I'm doing in 23 engine. I was covering 23 engine, and the first day is BI. For all you out there don't know, that's building inspection.
Mm-hmm.
In the Bronx,
Lou's favorite.
you take your milk carton with all the folders and you put them up in the rig. You pull the rig out on the apparatus apron in front of the quarters, and you go back and have a cup of coffee, and you figure out what's going to have for lunch and who's going to cook. And hey, I got to go get a set of tires. And good, because I got to go over there and get my radiator plugged. While we're there, Sears is back there. You think we can go get a battery? Okay, we'll do that. We go out and off we go to BI. Well, as you're going down the block, if the building is standing, it's not on fire, and there's nobody in there breaking up stuff and stealing stuff, then you take a mark and you keep on going.
Mm.
Well, the first day I'm in 23 engine. I take the milk carton down, put it on the rig. I tell the house watch, call the dispatchers, tell them we're out on BI, and I go back upstairs to get my gear and whatever I was doing, and the phone rings. House watchman comes over and hollers up, "Hey Lou, phone call." Okay, Lieutenant Williams. Lieutenant Williams, this is Chief Rourke, or whatever his name was. You're not in the Bronx. On BI, we go out at 9:00 on BI. We don't sit on the apron. Go on BI. Okay, Chief. So off I go. Oh my God, what a first day of BI. I go out, sitting in front of this building, a 30 or 60-story building. I'm sitting there, and we get there at about 10:30, I guess, or whatever the hell it was. And I'm sitting there, and I look, and this great big tall guy is walking toward us with a little stogie in his mouth. It was Jack Palance. And I
Believe
said,
it or not.
Yeah, believe it or not. So I'm sitting there and just bullshitting with the chauffeur and watching the pretty young white girls go by. And 10:30, that's it. What the hell are you guys out for lunch or what? They said, no, they're doing BI though. Okay. Well, about 10 or 15 minutes later, it's getting like 10 minutes to 11 or something. Here this guy comes down and he hands me this packet of papers and the summons book. I said, what the hell took you guys so long? She said, well, Lou, we got half the building done. I said, half the building done? It's a 60-story building. What the hell do you mean I did half of it? He said, well, we won't have enough time to do the rest of them. So I said, all right, good enough. How did it go? He said, well, I only wrote 13 tickets. I said, you did what? The first thing that came to my mind was Mike Bradley and me to write my first ticket ever.
And he played like I didn't know how to write a ticket.
And I didn't know. No, I didn't know.
You really didn't know.
I said, don't you ever do this to me again. Please. I'll hook you up if you do it again. Do you know how much work I got to do when we get back to quarters? I said, I hope the hell we don't get a run because it'll take me all day to do this.
Should
And
look
it
for the
did.
next guy.
And it did. It took me all day to finish that because I had to write out all the paperwork for 13 freaking summonses.
Did you ever get a spot while you were lieutenant, or you bounced all the time?
I bounced. My first entire 6 months, I stayed in 23. I covered every one of the vacation spots. But the chief got to like me a little bit better. Gave me a good write-up when I left. Very aggressive fireman, blah, 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 blah. The first 1075 that I ever called in, night tour, fully occupied, 100 by 200, concrete block building. Get in and it's blowing out of 2 windows on the 3rd floor. Not a truck to be seen. I jump off the rig, go like hell, look behind me, the guys are out there stretching that hose, pulling the hose. Chauffeur's pulling right up in front, hooking up to the standpipe system, the whole 9 yards, everything go. Holy shit, these guys are good. Up I go. The door was open. It was brutal. I go in, I make a primary, I come out. As I'm coming out, they're pushing into the line. These guys in 23, pow, pow, out.
Wow.
Knocked it down. It's beautiful. I said, I'm gonna like an engine company. The way these guys are, super. I get down to the street. Lieutenant, Chief Rook, or whatever his name was, raw ass, gets over. He said, Lou, that was a pretty good job. I said, yeah, Chief, that was my first 1075. He said, oh, so what? If I ever catch you without a Scott mask again, I'm going to hook you up.
I was going to ask
He
you.
said, you're not a Bronx bomber anymore. You're an example setter to your men. Wear your mask. Yes, Chief. So that was my introduction to 23 engine. Freaking tickets and fires.
But
Great
so
bunch of guys.
you spent 2 years there bouncing, huh?
Yeah, 2 years I bounced.
So
But
what happened? Did you get hurt, or why'd you retire?
no, I got hurt at a fire, but it was my second time. while I was in 58, I got a ceiling collapsed on me while I was overhauling some equipment, lifting a big heavy desk and everything. Back was out, L4, L5, S1. Dr. Soren, I know he was off the job before you guys did. Great orthopedic surgeon, took great care of me and everything. I was out for a while, and he says, you know, they had me go to different doctors and everything. He says, you know, you really ought to think about getting out. I didn't tell him, but I was on a lieutenant's list. So I said, nah, I like the job too much, Doc. I love it, blah, 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 blah. He says, you got to sign a paper. Give me the paper. So I signed the paper.
What did the paper say?
Said, get your ass back out of the bed and get back to work. And that's what I did. They said, you're going to have to get, you know, you admit, you know, that you're hurt and everything, but you know that you can do it. And the usual legalities to cover the fire department's ass and theirs. The second one, I was in, I think I may have been in 7 truck downtown. No, it couldn't have been because I wound up going to New Lincoln in Harlem. And same thing, ceiling fell on me. And I'm laying in the bed. Guess who the doctor assigned to work that night was?
The guy who told you.
Dr. Soren. He comes in, he looks at the papers. Not signing nothing this time.
You're done.
And that was the end of it for me.
So that was 85.
Yep.
And that was it.
That was it. But I still had some good stories. I had loved to tell you the story. Do you guys got time for one quick one?
We're going to have a part 2 because we're 2 hours in
All
already.
right.
Yeah, we definitely got to bring you back for a part 2.
We'll definitely have you
I
back.
got to tell you that one.
They're already in the chat saying that we got to have you on for part 2.
We're not done yet.
I'd be very grateful. You guys are great.
I love your stories. We're not done yet, though. You know what we got to do?
No. What time is it?
I got a ship pile of them for you.
Can't be any better than the ones we got. Maybe they are.
Oh,
Let's see.
maybe.
Let him know how many retired old school warrior guys are down here. Let's do it all.
I think I may have mentioned it. We've got the old guys and newer group.
Right.
In the retiree group, there's 160. But that's all of North and South Carolina. The core group, I guess I would say, is probably 30 to 40.
Oh, good. You could fit.
A lot of those guys were in their 90s.
Yes. We got one guy in there. They call me the senior man because I was in the group when it started.
Right.
And I was the one that was in the group when we started with the memorial service. That's another story. His name is, I don't know what Tom's last name is. I'm not sure they can tell me, but he just turned 94.
Oh,
and he's still on the job. I mean, he's still with us. And he turned 94 and he's great shape.
We got to get him on the show, Mike.
Yeah, that'd be very good.
That'd be very good.
Very good. I don't know his company or anything, but he's
94 years old.
Yeah.
If you tell stories like you, I'll take him.
Yeah.
One thing he said to me at the last big meeting, that he comes up behind me and he looks at me and he said, "Were you really a truckie?"
You're too small to be a truckie.
Well, my answer to him was, "Yeah, I was the shortest truckie on the job, and I always got the closet hook." So he laughed his ass off.
All right.
You guys remember the closet hook?
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Before we leave it, show your pack for the Carolina retirees.
Mike, can you make that big? Well, you know what? We'll see when we give you the zoom.
Yeah, I want to say we're about to maximize his
We're
window.
going to put you in the whole thing here. So it's time for Mike. What time is it?
It is time for the old school tip
of the day.
Of the day.
For Spanish friends, then beyond.
Now we're going to put him in big screen. Now we can see the patch.
Yes.
Okay.
Great mustache too.
Here's,
No, the old school tip.
oh, okay. Old school
What do
first.
you know? Show
Now,
that flashlight.
Oh, well, you were talking about the little lights that we used to put on our helmets and stuff.
Yeah.
Garrity's.
Well, you go to a third alarm, and how long did they last?
Not long.
Not long at all. So I got to the point where I wanted to see what I was doing and where I was going. So I made one. Oh, all right. I made this up for myself. This is made with a 6-volt battery.
Wow, look at that thing.
I think you might need to be cleaned a little better than that.
A little bit.
But I took
Character.
a dog's leash, hooked up that way, and I have a hook in the front so that when you put it on your turnout gear, that's right there with your second hook, and it points directly down to where you're walking, and all you got to do is reach down, grab it, and point it up to see where you're looking at.
You know what, Mike? There's too many similarities between you and I because I had the same exact light. I mean, I didn't have a dog leash on it. It had its own strap, but I had the same exact light that I put in any place.
And them 6-volt batteries last a lot longer.
Mine still, the one I have still works. I don't have it. I have it upstairs in by my buff thing. But if I turn it on, it still shines. It's crazy.
What's the old school tip of the day?
No, go back to it, Mike.
All right.
Mainly, you want to go? Okay. This one is for tower ladder operators, and I'm not sure if it's going to work anymore. What I did, so the Gene sent it wouldn't shake around a bit. Oh, and that's a good story I got for you. The Dudley glass. Gene sent it didn't like. He would rather be on a fire floor than be up in that bucket and shake. What I learned to do now, we drove a 1978. No, it was earlier than that. It doesn't matter. It was in the 70s. 75-foot Mac tower ladder.
Baker aerial scope.
Huh?
Baker aerial scope.
Excuse me. Baker aerial. What I learned to do to really control that bucket was I put my hand on the trigger, and we had a leather cover on the shaft that went down into the control panel. And I always ran my fingers all the way down inside the leather. And when I was controlling it, I could feel the direction that the bucket was going to go before the bucket would start to move by keeping my finger all the way down inside of that. And I could feel the bar moving before the bucket would move. And that's how I kept the bucket nice and steady. Yep. And we keep it from shaking or going up or down or whatever. Trouble was, nobody ever told that guy, what did I say his name was? Oh, the Babe. No, there was another name. He never learned that because he never got off the damn ground. He was too freaking fat to get off the ground.
Well,
but he was a chauffeur. Anyway, that's
Mike.
one of the tips. That's the school tip. I got another one for the next time for part 2.
You got it. Mike, let's play the quick commercials.
Yes.
Okay.
First things first is going to be the old school health and safety tip. Stand by for that.
Safety tip. Right.
Get one up.
Do it.
All right. The First Responders Center for Excellence is a not-for-profit organization dedicated to protecting the lives and livelihoods of first responders. Their education and research initiatives aim to bring greater awareness and understanding the challenges to the health, safety, and well-being of firefighters, EMS personnel, and other first responders too. They are an affiliate of the National Fallen Firefighter Foundation.
I love this one tonight. Health and safety tip, bro. Firefighters' health and wellness is critical for ensuring the safety and effectiveness of firefighters. Do not underestimate the power of sleep. Consistent and adequate sleep helps maintain alertness and cognitive function. A well-rested fireman, bro, is a good fireman. Take your naps.
Safety nets. Safety
Can
nets.
I add
safety
something
nets.
here, Kevin?
Go ahead, Mike.
Who the shit could sleep when you worked in 58 truck? Or 82 engine or 45 engine?
You know who
You
could?
know what? If we went up there and called 30 minutes, That was like sleeping all damn night long.
You know who'd catch sleep, Mike? The Queen's Quiffs used to.
That's right.
Show us your tits.
Those are the ones.
Yeah, Mike.
No
let's
one.
play the
Collectors
last
Club.
commercial.
Here we go. We at the Gettin Salty Experience are excited to announce the launch of the New York City Collectors Club, a brand new spin-off of the FD Collectors Club dedicated exclusively to New York City firehouses. Here's the deal. No more worrying about stopping by a firehouse when the crew's out on a run, and no more rolling the dice on questionable patches and coins off eBay. With this club, everything you receive is 100% authentic, straight from New York City firehouses. And the best part? A portion of every subscription goes directly to firefighter charities each month. Now, because you're a part of the Gettin Salty podcast community, you'll get 50% off your first month. That means you can join for just $14.99. All you have to do is use the code Gettin Salty at checkout. So if you're a collector looking for something real, meaningful, and straight from the source while giving back to New York City's best and bravest, the New York City Collectors Club is for you.
Excellent, Mike. I'm starting a new segment too, where we're only going to tell fire stories. I just told Hank this today. It's going to be a short, just like 2 or 3 fire stories. So I'm going to get you on that. Well, I have your number. This is your number that's on your, what do you call it, right? On your timeline?
Mine?
Yeah, that's your number on the timeline, right?
269.
Yes, don't say the rest.
Don't say-
910, right?
Yep.
Get a bunch of crankles.
All right, we're gonna book you for a segment 2, and I'm gonna book you also for the new segment I'm gonna do is fire stories, just fire stories.
Yes.
Thank you very much, fellas. I appreciate that greatly.
What a shot.
Right, great,
I love the job.
Mike,
great show, brother.
Mike, let him know. Let him know there's 15 of us down here.
There's
We heard
like
15.
Jimmy said, there's 15.
So you got
There's
50 more
plenty
guests for me
good
too.
guys.
There you go. The
Plenty of
pipeline's
guys.
strong.
Plenty
All
of
right, let's
Okay,
do
wait.
it.
lot of old timers.
Where's that beautiful wife of yours? Does she want to come on so we can say hello to her?
Come here, sweetheart. Come here, baby.
Oh,
Come over here, Red.
Now you
Pat him
got to
on,
bear
Red.
in mind.
Pat
You
him
got
on,
to bear in
Red.
mind. When you see this beautiful woman, she's 82 years old.
yeah.
I'm here.
Look at my beautiful dog.
What's up, Red?
Hey, how you doing?
How are you, beautiful?
Good. How are you? You
I'm
did a
doing great.
job. You did a
Let-
great job.
We love him. Good job.
We loved you and we
Hey,
enjoyed it.
Mike, let me ask you a
tremendously.
quick question. I forgot. Any of your kids get on the job?
No, not
No?
one. My oldest boy was a Marine. My
Uh-huh.
youngest guy is disappointed that we're down here. He
Uh-huh.
wears nothing but 58 shirts.
Nice.
He would have been a fire, no question.
Right.
Absolute. The 2 boys went up to 58 and spent several nights up there, and they took some of those pictures that I had
Oh, that's awesome.
from the job.
Hey, Mike, you know what? You're also part of my club. You know what that club is?
Uh-uh.
It's the I Married Up Club. Good for you, brother. Good for you.
Oh, I
Good
did
job.
marry up. There's no question of that.
Really, really quickly, if you can
Go.
show the patch.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, if you can show the patch, the FDNY Carolina Retirees
see.
Association patch.
Yeah.
We're 160 strong. If anybody else is out there, they're FDNY, also EMS. If you're looking for a place to join, we're there for you. We're there with you. We're all there together. We meet all the time. Look at FDNY CRA, FDNY Carolina Retirees Association. It's a great place to be. It's
It
nothing
is.
but fun.
Excellent.
Good time. Good
Thanks so
time.
much, Mike, for coming on.
And if
No,
you want
thank
to,
you.
if you want to be on this, I'm on the North Carolina state line. If you have a history, if you have something you want to say, I'm around. If you can't figure out the wiggles and the giggles of the video, I'm around for you.
All right, Jim, thanks for helping us tonight with the video
Thanks, Jim.
tonight.
Appreciate your help tonight.
Yeah,
Guys,
no.
thank you so much.
An honor.
We're going to have you back on. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Uh,
Thank you. Enjoyed it a tremendous amount, guys.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy
We'll have you
yourself.
back on, no doubt. I love the stories.
Good. Love
Don't
you
hang
guys.
up.
Thanks,
Don't
guys.
hang
All
up
right,
yet.
we'll
Be off
see
air.
you. Don't hang up yet, Mike. Stay on.
Don't hang up.
Till next week,
Okay.
we'll see you guys. As I always say, stay low and go. And I'm going to say this for Louis because he couldn't be in there, bro. See you at the big one.
Hans?
All right, guys. We'll keep it short for you saying, but you know what? I don't always watch podcasts, but when I do, I prefer this one right here, the Getting Salty experience. Stay salty, everyone.
Especially from Coop's Kitchen. But go ahead, go.
Right from Coop's Kitchen.
Shout out to all my friends at the West Haven Fire Department, especially my man Brian Elliott, who I'm sure was watching tonight, Brett Newport, Lieutenant Joe Wendland. On behalf of Kevin Kubler, Gonzo, and Mike Williams, I'm Mike Cologne. We will see you next time. Be advised, tones are dropping. We're getting multiple calls.
Love you, brothers.
Good
Love
night.
you, brothers.